Welcome to Fans of the Forge Living Room Edition. I'm Chris, and to my right we have
Teresa.
And today we're doing something a little different. We decided to change up our schedule for how we're going to be recording this week. And we have an interview that we're doing over the weekend, and we decided it's going to be some tight time frames. So we're going to do our own separate Forge and Fire wrap-ups and Sean this week. And we're trying out a new format. So we're obviously in our living room, and we are going to be watching Forge and Fire live, kind of, and coming to you in between on some of the breaks with our take on what's going on with some of this information, rather than the normal way where we take notes and then I'll sit down and have to remember everything that happened in the episode right at the time.
Right.
So that's that.
It'll be in the breaks for us, but, we'll stop it. So it's going to be pretty continuous.
Oh, yeah. You won't notice when we take breaks, hopefully. But here we go. So this one is episode 100.
Oh, that's right. The 100th episode.
100th episode. Spicy Mike.
We know him. I wonder if the number 100 is going to be on everything.
Definitely looks like it's on an ice block.
An anvil-shaped ice block.
So first up, we have Mickey, part-time, 15 years experience.
Colin, 4 years experience, part-time smith.
We have Robert, part-time bladesmith, 4 years experience.
And we have Sam, part-time experience, 8 years. And
okay,
we're back.
We're back. So this is the first commercial break, and the show started off, went through this whole spiel of, hey, it's the 100th episode, and we're going to give you some options for your materials. So the Smiths got to choose between 99 different materials that were from all of
the previous episodes.
Right. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They had a huge table set up.
Armor and anchors and
car engines
parts and some clean steel also from the episodes where they were given
just plain steel
to work with.
And then, other things, horseshoes and rasps and all
canisters for Damascus, or for canister Damascus.
Yeah. So the main things to note from this was Sam chose old, like, salvage steel.
Right,
that
like
was leaf springs that were all rusty, and the judges were like, oh, that's not a good idea. He's got all that clean steel over there that he could be using,
mm-hmm.
and instead he's using this stuff that he's now going to have to go out of his way to really try to clean up, and then he stacks it.
Right, but it's bendy. Like, it's already
it's all bending in different directions.
There's gaps.
And there's a big concern about forge scale within there, so we'll see how that plays out for him.
And then Colin decided to make canister Damascus for the first time, and he pulled a bicycle chain for this. And we're wondering, is he going to clean it off? And he went to go get the whiteout. Will Willis is like, hey, he's going to grab the whiteout. What's he doing? And Dave Baker's like, oh, he's ruining his chances of winning. That's what he's doing.
Oh, man.
So we're going to see how this goes.
Ruthless.
At the commercial break, we were seeing him struggle to get the can off.
Well, he flattened it. He flattened the billet way down, which is not ideal if you're going to be trying to grind that thing off, because you're just mashing all that steel together now. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. So far, it's shaping up to be an interesting competition, because I think we didn't mention, they had to make a chopper.
Oh, yeah.
From these materials. And, let's see how it goes.
On to the next part.
So, a lot happened.
Action-packed second chunk.
So, it starts off with Cullen. He decided to shape his blade and then grind the canister off the edge. But when he quenches, he ended up getting a warp.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey had way too much material, and the judges thought he just kind of had to deal with that, cut off some.
Yep, that's, of all the problems that could happen, that's pretty easily fixed in round 2.
Yeah. Robert had to quench twice to be able to get his blade to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mickey quenched at the very last second, but managed to finish up. So that was the end of round 1. We move into judging.
Which, at what point do we mention the clip show?
Oh yeah, we got to talk about this.
of this.
It's really a clip show for sure. Like they're just going through all these other episodes, showing different things that different people did on these episodes. Like they highlighted a bunch of different fireballs from the Quench, or the time that Andy stood on a box to grind his knife.
That was the first one that they showed, where we're like, oh, they're reminiscing about this one thing, and then they just kept doing it more and more.
Yeah, it was for everything. Oh, and then showed this guy. It's like, yeah, hey, we interviewed him. You know him.
Dropping in the quench tank, the water tank, every time they quench with water.
Yeah. So that was it's an interesting aspect. I guess it's neat. I mean, obviously, it's not something they would do a lot. It's just
right, and
a one-time thing.
And this one, I think they're doing it well.
Yeah. And so for judging, Mickey had a very heavy blade that needed a lot of refinement, but otherwise was good. Colin had a warp, but otherwise no big issues. Robert had a large handle that Ben said was
a large handle.
It's a very large handle.
Doug said it was man-sized.
It was a man-sized handle. It was pretty funny. Doug got him good. Got him. And then Sam... so Sam was the one who used the leaf spring, and that ended up biting him in the ass because when he forge welded all that stuff together, there was a number of cold shuts between the materials, and so there was a seam going down his blade, and he ended up getting the boot because of the fact that he was going to have to grind down his blade and likely would have broken into those cold shuts.
Right.
So
bye, Sam.
Bye, Sam. Sam gets the boot. We move on to round 2.
Yep. So with round 2, they had to not only put the handle on, but because it's the 100th episode and they're doing things a little bit bigger, they had to do a liner, 2 different materials for the handle, and they had to have mosaic pins. In 3 hours, they had to do this.
That's a lot.
Yep. Colin starts by working out that warp. And so he couldn't find oil to quench the blade after, you know how they warm it up to try to get the warp out. He couldn't find oil to re-quench it. So he went to do a water quench. And that's when they did the whole montage of the bad things that can happen with the water quench. Yeah. It ended up being okay, though. Yay for Colin.
As far as we know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It quenched okay, and it didn't shatter upon going into the water. But it very likely could have some stresses going on that you won't see until testing.
But then poor guy's having a hard time. Everything he's doing is taking just a little bit longer than he thinks it should, including when he goes to drill holes into his handle, or the material of the handle breaks apart.
Oof.
So now we're at the break for commercials. We have to wait and see how he plays that one out. He's definitely going to have to redo it.
It was less than an hour at that point that he had left to be able to finish up the handle.
Robert's having a hard time with his scales as well. He had Marcaida. They were different levels. Okay, let's go pick something else. And his motto is to find a third way. They keep showing how really with everything that he's doing, he has to find a third way to do the things. So in his second attempt, the mosaic pins that he was using, I don't know if they were too big or what the deal was, but as he was hammering them in, it was causing the scales to split apart from the tang of the blade.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it was more of an issue of either he didn't drill the right size holes or he didn't line everything up properly. And the way the way it was spreading looked like the holes weren't lined up properly, probably. This is my guess, because then it was kind of kicking them off the thing, where if it was a straight on pass, it would have probably not done that. But it shouldn't have been that tight either. So,
right. So now we're waiting to see what his third way is. And as Mickey's going about his handle business, he finds a D-lam that he decides to just load up with epoxy and hope for the best.
Luckily, it's not in the blade portion. It's in the back end of the handle, so it might not have any bearing on the testing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ready for the next piece.
Yep. And so we pick up with Mickey had started grinding his handle with about 10 minutes left, and Robert he just couldn't get those pins to line up properly and had to end up wrapping the pieces that he had for his handle in paracord.
Oh, okay. So as we were watching it, I had a hard time understanding where the two materials were, the paracord, but he wrapped the paracord around the
some
handle
other
material.
scale
Oh, okay.
material, yeah.
Gotcha. And Cullen, it was noted that Robert and Cullen, with 5 minutes left, are trying to get these handles on.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we're moving into testing, and we're going to do a little differently. We're watching the tests live, so you can watch our reactions. Mickey's up first.
Buffalo horn and micarta were his two materials for the handle.
Interesting. Got a good look to it.
Ooh, I like these ice blocks.
Yeah, the anvil ice blocks with the big 100 on the center of them. Bam! Dave Baker doesn't normally do the ice chop test, does he? It's either like Jay Nielsen or Ben.
Yeah. But he's been on longer than Ben. So
yeah.
It's only right that he's doing this one.
Well, Mickey destroyed that ice block pretty well. No marks. Good handle.
Well done. Now it's Cullen's turn.
Oh.
Resin.
Cullen's does not look good.
Is it different kinds of resin? Because doesn't he have to have two? Ooh.
I mean, it chopped easily, but it just did not look pretty at all. It's going.
There's like a twist or something. A couple times.
Dave Baker had to readjust. But still
nice
made
final
it through the test. That handle is no good. A little rolling in the blade.
But it didn't break apart. Oh, the handle broke apart.
Oof.
Provided Roberts makes it, though, that handle is probably going to be the downfall of Cullen.
Well,
it's my prediction.
Yeah, I think so.
Although, we've got the paracord.
Yeah, I mean, paracord is used as a handle material, though.
True.
It's just his isn't necessarily wrapped as well as one that you would normally see if you were to purchase one, wrapped with paracord. Chopped okay.
Bumpy wrap. Nothing but hot spots. Oh, no.
Oh.
So there's a D-lam in the edge of the blade.
Yikes. That's no good.
Yeah.
Pretty. Some big chunks taken out. And then we got our Doug Marcaida rope cut sharpness test.
And now we've got a little montage of when they've used ropes.
Has it been... Oh.
They're lighting it on fire? All right, nice twist.
I wonder how long they have to cut this before that thing just is completely burnt up.
It's pretty thick.
There we go. Sweet Doug action and commercial.
Does the lighting it on fire make it easier or more difficult to cut through?
You would think it'd make it easier because it
It eats away at the material and makes it weaker.
Yeah, that's what I would think. So here we go. Doug taking his swing. Oh, yeah. That was way too easy.
Well, maybe it was just a good blade.
No, don't get me wrong. Mickey does have a good blade, but it didn't cut the way you would... I mean, it just didn't look like what I've seen for a normal rope cutting test.
Yeah.
All right, we got Cullen up next. Oh. Okay.
So it only cut through some of the strands and the fire got bigger. And now it's like an explosion.
Ooh.
It wasn't really an explosion. It just looked like it.
Yeah.
More handle breakage.
It will cut. We move on to Robert, who's not in good shape with his blade edge.
Yeah. 1.
Ooh.
2.
Oh, no.
3.
Still didn't cut through.
So do they keep going, or is it only up to 3? Okay, 3. Like an axe head, it was compared to.
Yeah, it looks like Robert.
Yeah, because he was the only one to fail one of the tests.
Yep, that D-lam did him in.
And then it caused him to fail the sharpness test.
Yep. It stinks. You don't want to see that happen.
No.
Don't pull at my heartstrings, Fortune Fire.
Of course they are going to.
All right, so we move on to round 3.
Round 3.
The O-Katana. Oh, Mickey didn't seem happy. A Daitao.
Longer than typical katana.
Samurai used it.
Single-edged.
Cut off a head in a single stroke. Interesting. So they're making this O-Katana. And,
It's a habaki.
Yep. Suba
Style
guard.
guard.
Wrapped handle. So pretty similar to the katanas that have been made before, obviously.
Yeah, just longer.
Yeah.
I missed the length parameter.
It's longer. And now we move back to the home forge.
Mm-hmm.
So the home forging went fairly well.
Yeah.
No real major issues. Cullen forged a practice blade on his first day out of some mild steel just to kind of get the shape right and make sure he knows what he's doing. And then he planned to have his blade forged and heat treated by the end of day 2. On day 5, he sanded the edge and added his handle components.
Yep, pretty smooth. And then for Mickey, they show, starting the blade. Day 3, he goes for his heat treating. It didn't harden with the first quench, so then he went and did it again, and it was good. And then on the last day, he was putting the handle on, had a minor crack in the habaki, but he managed to work on that and get it to work properly.
And so we move on to our final tests.
And they're in Connecticut.
They're in Connecticut. Wouldn't you know it, they're at a gun range, which we've seen before. Friend of the show, Matt Parkinson, has also seen this before multiple times. And we're going to see how this turns out for these katanas. Oh, rattlesnake inlay on the handle. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So he wants it to do well or explode.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize I did it as many times as that. So they showed like 4 clips of the bullet split.
Episode 70 was one from season 5. That was the Naval Cutlass episode.
That's right.
Oh, and Will Willis cocking that gun.
Is he usually the one who does this test?
The first few he didn't, but the last one.
More recent ones?
Yeah. Yeah, the first one, Mickey was up.
Bit of a deflection.
Yeah, on his. On Mickey's.
Yeah.
And Cullen split the bullet.
And no explosion yet.
So Cullen had no real issues with his edge, and they move on
To the kill test.
a good old ballistics dummy kill test. I don't think we've seen one of these in a while. I think in the last couple episodes they didn't really show. They didn't have the ballistic dummies, did they?
I think the more recent ones have been animals.
Oof.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Chopped off a chunk of the head.
Oh, man.
And there's the gushing. Blah.
Mickey's hit the head and it chopped off a chunk, and then there's just like a gush of blood shot out of the head. Doug's covered. Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
It will kill.
As he's got like blood behind his safety glasses.
Yeah. We move on to Cullen.
And Doug is magically clean.
Oh, Doug. Oh, truck night in America. What? What was that look? All right, Cullen's up.
Walks away bloody. Comes back not bloody.
No, his hand is still bloody.
No. He clearly washed his hands.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Okay, it did some damage, but
didn't cut through the bone the way Mickey's did.
it wasn't sharp. Yeah, he had a really, really thick handle.
So punctures, but doesn't lacerate. It will still kill.
Yeah, it was more bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Move on to Sharpness with the bamboo chops. And it's Doug again. What is Ben Abbott? Chop liver?
He's just hanging out. Ooh.
Man, that is a very sharp blade. I think Mickey's got this one in the bag.
See, it looks like with the first one, Doug was just getting his stride.
Yeah.
Because the rest of them are so clean cut.
Yep, razor sharp edge, good balance, and it will cut. Yeah, this is not going to go well for Cullen.
Maybe 4 of them.
Going about maybe halfway through, not even halfway through.
On any of, there's like 4 stands. Not any of them did he get halfway through.
It's pretty apparent who won this one.
And his handle's coming off.
Oh, no.
I mean, like the wrap of it, not the actual handle.
Oh,
it will crush.
It will crush.
Not cut.
Yeah.
Mickey wins.
Mickey won. So congratulations, Mickey, on your win. Collins didn't win. We kind of just told you all about why it didn't win. The thing was really thick on the edge. It just wasn't sharp enough. It started to fall apart. So, sorry, Cullen, but congratulations to Mickey on your win. Thanks, everybody, for watching this episode, our
Living Room Edition, episode 100 of Forge and Fire recap. And we'll be coming at you this weekend with a special international interview. Oh, yeah.
Won't say anything else on that. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. And we will catch you in the next episode. Good night.
Bye.